Ethel Rose Tangunan, Jomal Nagano, John Mark Adriano, a Bachelor of Science in Electrical Engineering, Section 3A.
So, what is a DC generator? Let's define it first. DC generator is a rotating machine that supplies an electrical output with unidirectional voltage and current. So to further understand the DC generator, let's watch this video.
We can see here, ito yung elementary model ng isang DC generator. First part is yung tinatawag na stator. Meron siyang North Pole and South Pole, which is a permanent magnet. Also, naka-fix or hindi nagagalaw ito. Ang main function niya ay ang mag-provide ng magnetic fields kung saan umiikot ang ating rotor or armature coil. May armature loop, armature coil, and armature winding tayo na tinatawag. Lahat sila ay nakaikot doon sa ating armature core. Yung armature kapag umikot na, nakakat niya yung magnetic field kung saan yung EMF is na-induce. Ito namang si split ring ay gumagalaw or umiikot din siya, resulting sa pag-reverse ng polarity ng current. Gawa siya sa copper, nahahati or may gap siya sa gitna. Gamit din ang mga brushes na gawa sa carbon. Ang function nito is to collect current from the split ring or also known as commutator segments. Here is the galvanometer, isang analog na electromechanical actuator na nagpo-produce ng rotary deflection in response sa electric current. As we can see here, yung current flow is clockwise ang ikot or daloy. From left, yung color blue, to right, yung violet. So, try nating iikot yung ating armature. Diba ang current kanina ay from blue to violet? So, dapat sa position na ganyan ay mabaliktad na yung daloy ng current. So, yung left brush should touch the violet end of the armature to keep it rotating. So, dito na nga papasok si split ring na dapat ay mayroong gap, and para hindi tayo malito kung ano yung left and right, i-color coding natin sila katulad nung armature. So, left is blue and right is violet. Try to observe the left brush. Ngayon, nakatouch siya sa blue. Pero once na umikot na si armature, and dahil sa gap nga, malilipat na siya sa violet. And that's the purpose of the split ring. Para automatic nang bumabaliktad or nagre-reverse yung daloy ng current sa armature and continuous yung pag-ikot nito.
So that's how the DC generator work and the parts of a DC generator. So ano ba yung kailangan or ano ba yung nagpapagana sa DC generator? Ano ba yung kailangan niya para umikot yung kanyang rotor or turbine niya? Ang tawag doon is renewable energy sources. Let's define renewable energy. Renewable energy came from a source that is not depleted when used, thus naturally replenished on a human time scale. Example is sunlight, wind, tides, waves, geothermal heat, etc. So, yung renewable energy, ito yung mga hindi basta-basta nauubos and lagi lang siya nandiyan sa ating paligid. Unlike the diesel na kapag ginamit mo, mauubos lang din agad. Tapos, kailangan muna namang lagyan ng diesel. Hindi yun yung renewable energy. Ito yung kailangan natin para mapagana yung ating DC generator or para umikot yung turbine and mag-produce ng electricity. So, meron tayong 7 types of renewable energy sources. First is ocean energy. Next is wind energy. Hydrogen energy, hindi hydrogen yon. Hydropower. Geothermal power. Bioenergy. And last but not the least is the solar energy. So, first, i-discuss muna natin yung ocean energy. Ocean energy, ito yung ginagamitan ng tidal power station. Tidal power or tidal energy is harnessed by converting energy from tides into useful forms of power. mainly electricity using various methods. So, ito yung paano siyang ginagamit, yung tidal or yung tides sa ating tidal power stations. Kapag nag-high tide yung kabila or nag-low tide yung kabila, yung high tide is lilipat yung water dun sa low tide, and on the process, iikot yung ating turbine na magpo-produce ng electricity. So, yan, observe natin mabuti yung image or yung GIF na yan. Ngayon, every time na mag-iikot yung ating turbine is nagpo-produce siya ng or nag-generate siya ng electricity. So, yung working principle ng ating ocean energy or tidal energy. Tidal energy is created using the movement of our tides and oceans, where the intensity of the water from the rise and fall of tides is a form of kinetic energy. Tidal power surrounds gravitational hydropower, which uses the movement of water to push a turbine to generate electricity. So, just like what I said, kapag nag-high tide or ito yung sinasabi natin rise ng tides, and low tide, yung pag-fall ng tides, is nag-perform ng kinetic energy. So, kapag high tide sa kabila, tas low tide sa kabila, yung high tide, yung water niya, is mag-flow dun sa low tide para mag-balance yung water sa left and right. And on the process nga, mapupush ng water yung turbine, which causes it to rotate and to generate electricity. Ganun gumana ang ating tidal power station or yung ating DC generator sa ating tidal power stations gamit yung ocean energy. Ano ba yung dahilan ba't nagkakaroon tayo ng high tide and low tide? What causes high tide and low tide? The answer is moon. Si moon ang dahilan ba't nagkakaroon tayo ng high tide and low tide. Mamaya explain natin yan mas mabuti para malaman natin ba't may kinalaman si moon sa pagkakaroon ng high tide and pagkakaroon ng low tide. Another question is, if the moon affects the water level, can it also affect us humans? The answer is yes. Paano? Naapektuhan tayo ng moon sa pamamagitan ng pagbaba ng ating timbang. Huwag niyong ita-try na magtimbang ng gabi and to see if nabawasan ba yung timbang niyo. Kasi baka magtaka lang kayo na same lang yung timbang nyo ng umaga and ng gabi. Kasi yung pag-decrease na ating weight during the presence of the moon is nasa micro level lang or minimal lang siya. Hindi yung kunwari 66 ka sa umaga tapos magiging 65 ka na lang sa gabi. Hindi ganun yon. So hindi natin mapapansin yon using our weighing scale at home. So, going back to the high tide and low tide, how many times does high tide and low tide occur within one lunar cycle or one lunar day? So, yung one lunar cycle, meron siyang 24 hours and 50 minutes. And the answer kung ilang high tide or ilang low tide nagkakaroon sa isang lunar cycle is 2. So, here is the explanation. High and low tides are caused by the moon. The moon's gravitational pull generates something called the tidal force. The tidal force causes Earth and its water to bulge out on the side closest to the moon and the side farthest from the moon. These bulges of water are high tides. So, yung bulges daw na nakikreate dahil sa gravitational pull ng moon is yun yung high tide. So, mamaya ipapakita natin yan. Most coastal areas, with some exceptions, experience 2 high tides and 2 low tides every lunar day. Unlike a solar day, however, a lunar day is 24 hours and 50 minutes. Diba ang solar day, yan yung 24 hours yung normal. Pero ang lunar day natin is 24 hours and 50 minutes. Lamang siya ng 50 minutes. Because the Earth rotates through 2 tidal bulges every lunar day, coastal areas experience 2 high and low tides every 24 hours and 50 minutes. High tides occur 12 hours and 25 minutes apart. So, every 12 hours and 25 minutes, nagkakaroon ng high tides. Yun yung pagitan nila. Kung kumari, high tide ngayon, after ng 12 hours and 25 minutes, high tide ulit. it takes 6 hours and 12.5 minutes for the water at the shore to go from high to low or from low to high. Let's say, meron ocean sa amin. High tide dito ngayon. After ng 6 hours and 12.5 minutes, maglo-low naman siya. Low tide naman. Tapos, after ulit ng 6 hours and 12.5 minutes, mag-high tide ulit siya. Ganun lang yung cycle niya. So, pakita natin paano siya nangyari. Ayun yung moon yung umiikot. As you can see, yung color blue na nagsasurround sa Earth, yun yung bulges na nakikreate niya. So, ito yung oras ng low tide and high tide within a lunar day. So, in 6 hours and 12.5 minutes, low tide yan. Then, susunod naman doon, mag-high tide naman siya within the 12 hours and 25 minutes. Tapos, babalik ulit siya sa low tide ng 18 hours and 37.5 minutes. Tapos, babalik lang ulit siya sa high tide sa 24 hours and 50 minutes ng lunar cycle. As we can see here, yung naka-face sa moon, yun yung high tide. Tapos yung nasa opposite niya, or nasa likod nung naka-face sa moon na side na Earth, is yun yung high tide din. Tapos yung nasa up and down niya, kanina, is yun yung low tide, which wala kang nakitang blue kanina. So, ito siya. The high tide on the side of Earth facing the moon is called the high tide. The high tide caused by the bulge on the opposite side of Earth is called the low high tide. So, magkaiba yung pagkataas ng level ng water doon sa naka-face kay moon na side ng Earth kumpara doon sa opposite side na to. So, kung ano yung nakaharap kay moon, yun yung high tide, and kung ano yung nasa opposite na nakaharap sa moon na side ng Earth is yun yung low high tide. A low high tide may be understood as the moon's tidal force pulling the planet, not the ocean, toward it. So, hindi yung ocean or yung water yung napupull ni moon's tidal force, kundi yung planet mismo, yung Earth. Kaya high tide yung naka-face kay moon, mas nado-dominate ng moon's tidal force yung inertia, and yung sa opposite side naman ng moon or yung low high tide, mas nagdo-dominate yung inertia nito kaysa dun sa tidal force ng moon. Kaya low high tide siya. Tapos yung sa harap naman ng moon is high tide. So here's the list of tidal power stations or top 5 tidal power stations as of May 5, 2021. First up is Siwa Lake Tidal Power Station. Meron siyang 254 capacity na megawatts. Located sa South Korea, na itayo noong 2011. Second is Rans Tidal Power Station. Mayroong capacity na 240 megawatts. Located in France, na itayo noong 1966. Third one is Annapolis Royal Generating Station. Mayroong capacity na 20 megawatts. Located in Canada, na itayo noong 1984. Fourth is Maygen. Meron siyang capacity na 6 megawatts. Located in United Kingdom, na itayo noong 2017 lang. Last but not least, or yung pang-fifth natin, is si Jiangxia Tidal Power Station. Meron siyang 3.2 capacity megawatts. Located in China, na itayo noong 1980.
Types of tidal power. 1 is tidal spring generator, 2 is tidal barrage, 3 tidal lagoon. The first one is tidal spring generator. Tidal spring generator are very similar to wind turbine, except they are below the water surface instead of above or on land. The water's current pushes the blades of the turbine, which is connected to a generator that creates electricity. Tidal spring generators are able to produce much more electricity than wind power plants, mainly because water is much denser than air. However, water's high density also means that tidal turbines need to be much stronger than wind turbines, making them more expensive to manufacture. Tidal spring generator turbines are large, but they create relatively little disruption to the ecosystem around them as compared to tidal barrage. The world's first tidal string generator was constructed in Strangford Lough in Northern Ireland. Yung example ng tidal string generator is parang daw siyang mga wind turbines. Ang kahibahan lang sa wind turbines, yung sa wind turbines, hangin yung nagpapagana, din yun naman yung current ng tubig yung nagpapaikot sa mga turbines para makapag-produce ng electricity. Kaso nga lang, mas mahal to kasi kailangan mas matibay yung gagamitin mong materyales kasi mas malakas yung current ng tubig kaysa sa hangin. Types of turbines used in tidal string generators. HAWT or Horizontal Axis Wind Turbine, VAWT or Vertical Axis Wind Turbine. Ito yung mga example niya. Ito naman is tidal barrage. Ito yung example ng tidal barrage. Tidal barrage are low-walled dams usually installed at tidal inlets or estuaries. Similar to traditional hydroelectric dams, sluice gates are used to create a reservoir on one side of the barrage. The barrage is secured to create the seafloor, while the top of the barrage is slightly above where the water level hits during the high tide. Tidal turbines are located towards the bottom of the barrage inside a tunnel which allow water to flow. Ngayon, yung tidal barrage daw na to is para siyang dam na sa kabilang part is high tide, sa kabilang part naman is low tide kasi kailangan dumalaw yung tubig sa ilalim ng parang tunnel tapos andun yung mga turbines na nakakapag-create ng electricity. Andun din yung mga generator. Para lang din siyang tidal string generator. Yung kanina. Ito pala. Tidal barrage looks like a traditional hydropower dams turbine located along the bottom of the barrage are turned with the incoming and outgoing tides. During an incoming high tide, water flows over the turbines as the water rises. Then the water flows back through the turbines as it becomes to low tide. The turbines are connected to a generator which produces the electricity. After a construction phase lasting 5 years, the Rance Tidal Power Station was opened on the 26th November 1966. This was the first power station to take advantage of the tidal power flow to produce electricity. Ito nga yung sabi ko kanina, tidal barrage is a dam-like structure with turbines placed at the bottom of the reservoir. The dam creates a barrier between the sea and tidal basin to take advantage of the change in tidal levels to produce power. The construction of a barrage is itself a very costly endeavor. Ito naman is tidal lagoon. A new tidal energy design option is to construct circular retaining walls embedded with turbines that can capture the potential energy tides. The created reservoirs are similar to those of tidal barrages, except that the location is artificial and does not contain a pre-existing ecosystem. The Cancel Tidal Lagoon, Swansea Bay in Wales, United Kingdom, would have been the first tidal power station of this type once built.
Advantage of tidal energy, renewable. Tidal energy is a renewable source of energy, which means the energy doesn't deplete as it used. So itong tidal energy is pag kailangan natin mag-rotate or pag-generate ng electricity, ang kailangan natin is tubig. So hindi siya katulad ng mga fossil fuels na kapag nagamit natin is alana, hindi na natin siya magagamit. So itong tidal energy is renewable. Zero carbon emissions. In addition of being renewable energy source, tidal power station do not emit greenhouse gases during electricity generation. So kapag na-generate ng electricity during tidal energy, hindi siya nag-emit ng carbon. So para siyang nasa may hydropower plant, solar energy, mga ganun, and predictable. So predictable. Tidal currents are highly predictable. So nakikita yung cycle ng low and high tides na makikita niyo sa throughout the day. High power output. Tidal power plants are able to produce high amount of electricity. So bakit? Kasi nga, mas dense daw yung water ng 800 times kaysa doon sa air. Sabihin na yung tidal turbine will produce substantially more energy than wind turbine of the same size. Disadvantage of tidal energy: limited installation size. In order to tidal power plant to build a substantial installation site must meet very specific requirement. First, they need to be located on coastline, which limit potential station sites to coastal states. There are additional requirements that potential sites must meet. For example, tidal power station need to be built in place where the difference in height between high and low tide is significant enough to power turbines. This limits where the power station can be installed, making it difficult for the tidal power to be implemented correctly. So, hindi naman kasi porket may coastline o malapit sa dagat is pwede natin pag-installan ng tidal energy. So, syempre, kailangan din natin tingnan kung malaki ba yung pagkakaiba ng tubig kapag high and low tide sa may specific place na maaari natin pagtayuan. So, yun yung isa sa mga tinitingnan. Kaya, mahirap maghanap kung saan pwede mag-install na tidal energy. Siyempre, it is expensive. One of the biggest drawbacks to tidal power is high upfront cost. Tidal energy turbines need to be much steadier than wind turbines kasi nga diba mas dense yung water kaysa sa air. Most of the tidal power plants that are currently in operation are made of tidal barrage. The construction of tidal barrage is extremely expensive. So, kailangan niya talaga matibay. The barrage power plant was expensive to build in its day and about 20 years to build. So, 20 years talaga na parang also meron siya environmental effect. So, hindi porket na hindi siya nakapag-emit ng carbon greenhouse gases is wala na siyang effect dun sa environment. So, may pa siya ibang effect like this one yung natural flow of water in out of estuaries affect yung marine life instruct nun yung cycle ng life and also yung underwater turbines niya is maaaring makapatay sa mga buhay lang sa dahil ng dagat. Since the time of construction needed to during the estuary initial years after the construction was completed, silver in fact to global environment. So, environmental effects. However, 10 years later, it was considered that the Lance estuary once again had reached diversity of aquatic life. So, I know pala 10 years later, after the seawall was built in 1994, pollution built up and created Sierra Lake Savior, making its water useless for agriculture. So, tubig na natin is pinagagamit kasi dahil sa may concentration of octane sulfate PFOS measured in Lake Siwa were among the greatest ever measured in pure of tidal energy. The tidal energy has the potential to overall power we need to meet the need of fossil fuels. So, talagang malaki kayo matutulong. So, fossil fuels kasi limited lang yung source. Kapag naubos siya, wala na. Kaya kailangan talaga natin magkaroon ibang magiging source na natin like this. As stated by Simon Rose in Katan's Energy, the tide moves a huge amount of water to us a day. Harnessing it could provide a great deal of energy, around 20% of the density. So, ties na data, so, natin low and high tide na